Good afternoon, my Lipshins. It is that time of the year again where I get to do the Turbo Tortoise Tech Awards. But this year, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Instead of doing a top 10 for each category, I'm just going to give you the top 10 best components that I've reviewed this year. By the end of the year, I will have reviewed more than 90 different products off of Uncle Evetech, which is just a couple as it goes. A couple of them requested by you, a couple of them I was completely caught off guard, and a couple I kind of expected them to be good, but not as good as they were. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting from the bottom, at number 10, we've got the Elgato Neo Series. I did both the Wave and their new camera as well, and it was just absolutely exceptional price versus performance. Bang for buck on these cannot be understated. They just kind of reacted at Elgato to the looming threat of all the new products and brands and such that were coming out, and this is what they came up with. And it doth butter many parsnips. The price versus performance on these cannot be understated. At number 9, it's got to go to Marvo Monka series. This all-new Storm keyboard, which you see pictured here, the Contra controller, and the Guru mouse were all A+, 10 out of 10, bang for buck kings. This we were selling on Uncle Evetech's side for 750 South African rands for a full wireless, fully modular keyboard, which is sort of unreal. Just everything from the build quality to the customization on these has just absolutely knocked it out of the park for me, to the point that I now am a Monka Contra user. I even have the controller. It's now my default controller, because for 350 bucks to get a full PS4 controller, it kind of speaks for itself. At number 8, we've got the new Viewsonics. The VX2428 especially was under 4,000 Rand, 180 Hz panel with a half a millisecond response time. Really nice color accuracy from the IPS as well. It just buttered all of the parsnips in exactly the right way. If you didn't know, I'm kind of a dude about value, and this was absolutely perfect where that was considered. It certainly didn't have the fanciest stands I've ever seen, and you're gonna have to get a desktop mount if you want to get it mounted, I would say, in a good position. The little base stand, the little default V that it had, was a little bit underwhelming, all things considered. That was about the worst of the product, but the panel was so good that I just kind of was blown away by its price versus performance. And they even had a secondary edition at 100 Hz that was even cheaper. And number 7, it's got to go to this Klevv C930. The C730, a little bit there, so we're more focused on the C930 that you see over there on the left hand side of your screen. Dude, it just slapped. For Gen 4 NVMe, it gave really good performance, basically top 3 of the SSDs we've tested, but with like a 20% discount compared to its competitors. 5-year warranty on these. They're made in Taiwan, where ye olde everything is basically made these days to do with componentry. And as you can see, it's got a full DRAM cache on it. It just slapped. When it came to the small file sizes where the SSDs really do struggle, it just absolutely cruised through all of those. And yeah, it just left an impression on me of just its goodness. Then they put it on sale now at the end of the year with Uncle Evetech for a whole 2,200 bucks. It was a deal. At number 6, it was the first of the big surprises that I got this year with the Chione E4. I did the, oh no, this is the M4. The E4 is the other one where it has the pump in the bottom of the radiator. This one has the pump in line, actually. The fans that it came with were kind of average, and out of the box I was like, yeah, it's not amazing, until I plugged these things in and saw the RPM on the pump at 5,200 RPM, which is like a 2,000 RPM pump. And then they made the radiator slightly thicker, which you can now see on your screen, and that inline pump. And these two combinations over here really made quite a drastic improvement on the performance. It's basically the second best 240mm rad we've ever tested. And coming in just ahead of that, it's the Master Liquid 240L core, because this is the fastest 240mm rad we've ever tested. Like Gamdias, they've employed a way better dual chamber pump. Their dual chamber pump was always pretty decent, but now it just takes things to another level. It seems to be moving twice the amount of water per RPM that it used to, and at 2,600 RPM I was like, man, this thing's going to be kind of average. It was not average. It was absolutely disgusting. This, like I said, is the best 240 we've ever tested. And then it came through at 1,400 Rand on Uncle Evetech. And now during the Black Friday deals, it was a whole 899 bucks. If you manage to snag yourself one of these, you got one of, if not the best 240mm rad you can possibly buy. At number 4, we had the biggest and prettiest case I've pretty much ever built. This dual chamber C8 Wood looked absolutely fantastic. The extra dimensioning for water cooling is kind of insane. You can see at the top over there, there's a huge amount of space so that you could do a full push-pull if you wanted to. This is really built around the open loop kind of guy. I'm looking at you, Mr. Sphinx Mods. I would love to see one of your builds in here. I stuffed it with 10 fans. All of them very average, and it gave exceptional performance. The amount of mesh, as you can see, like the back panel was entirely mesh on this, and yeah, they had it with the orange in the promotional media with the wood, and it just looked absolutely exceptional. And to date, it's one of the prettiest PCs I've ever built. In the first of the podium positions, it's 9800X3D. I had a janky RAM for this, not very good. CL36, the T-Rex and the T-Cas was 44 latency. It was exceptionally slow. And then my H100 pictured over there, I'm pretty sure I broke the impeller. So it was cooking, and it still came second, only to the 9700X, which had a much better cooler on, much better RAM, and a negative offset, curve offset of 20. So yeah, it was overclocked as well on top. And that was the only thing that beat it. So we already are busy getting that stuff sorted, so I'll be able to do a re-review next year. But even in those conditions, it's still an absolute monster, and it definitely deserves a top 3 position. In the runner-up spot for this year, it's the Lenovo LOQ. This has to be the best price versus performance series of laptops around. Every single one of them that I used and touched was absolutely fantastic. There was a little bit of corner cutting here and there to get the price down. So that's what that thing's got such a big chin, because it was actually dimensioned for a 16:10 monitor as an example. But you cannot hate on the build quality, the look and feel, the ports all coming out the back. That is just something that Lenovo does that nobody else can really do, or seemingly can get to doing. The overall build quality, upgradability, and flexibility of these was really good, along with its performance being basically in the top 3 of its class. And finally, the Turbo Tortoise Tech #1 spot for 2024. It's got to go to the 4070 Super. I got a 4070 out of box, for like one of the first 3 that came into South Africa, and it was already very good. Things like DLSS, frame generation, DLSS 3, all of those sorts of improvements were really, really nice. But then they brought out the Super because of pressure from Team Red, and that thing just kind of blew everything out of the water. You cannot get more performance out of 240 watts worth of power draw, and then if you consider streaming, it's almost lossless. Even for me on the normal 4070, when I play Stalker 2, that being all the rage right now, that is a fantastic game, 130 FPS. I start streaming, I go to 115 FPS. So it's like a 5 to 10% drop to basically go live. And the 4070 Super then just makes that gap even wider. Really unlock 1440p gaming, even at like 100 FPS. It's a monster. It's an absolutely incredible GPU. With the price crunches coming down, these things going for like 12,000-13,000 Rand over here in South Africa. There's no better graphics card to buy. And so that's what really drives our passion, isn't it? So it's got to take the #1 spot. And now, my friends, is your top components for 2024. Can you believe it? Another 90 odd reviews have been completed on the channel. Yeah, it's sort of surreal. I mean, over the last 5 years, I've probably reviewed about 450 components for Uncle Evetech. It's been an absolute honor. Huge shout out to them. We've taken the channel from just under 8,000 subscribers to now nearly 32,000. We're about 100 away. So if you see this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe. We're nearly there at 32,000, which will be an awesome way to finish off the year. 2025, it's going to be more of the same. We've got even more content planned. We're already planning content rollout for next year, like with the 9800X3D sort of re-review, which I'm going to be doing. I've already secured a cooler for that. We just need the RAM that we need for that to come to stock, and then I'll be able to do that even further and make it go even faster. There's going to be more streams. There's 20 giveaways across the next 20 days over on Uncle Evetech socials, so make sure you enter every single one. You never know, you might just win. I'm going to be doing a couple of little things on our T3 socials for the people that have supported us over the last 6 years. It's sort of unreal. We actually were fully incorporated on the 1st of January 2019. So it's basically will be on the 1st of January will be official 6 years that we've even been incorporated, and we've been going since that August of 2019, which is unreal. A huge shout out to my old boss Alan at Asus. He was the one that gave me the kick out of the door in this general direction. A huge thank you to you, sir. I can't thank you enough. as I say to the whole team at Uncle Evetech, to the brands that have supported us, a huge shout out to MSI, motherboard, graphics card, monitor. You guys have really transformed our capacity for creating content on this channel. To guys like Cooler Master and Cougar, who've always been there to support us in the background as well, with samples and review stock and even giveaway items, where we did that CM27, the new GA27 IPS 100 Hz 2K monitor, doing a giveaway with that. So there's going to be a couple little things that we'll do. I will give more details on our socials tomorrow, so do look out for that. All the T3 supporters, I'm going to be doing Stalker 2 streams whenever I'm playing the game. I'm going to be live on my Wookie Triple XL channel, and then we'll be throwing out a couple of Steam gift vouchers and a hamper at some point with all of the little bits and pieces from around the studio, including the mouse pad sign that you see me over there, and then more Steam gift voucher and an Evetech backpack and some fans from within my PC. They're still working, but it's more for the ornamental fact that that particular set probably produced somewhere in the region of like 600 videos between bias guides and all the rest of it. Anywho, you guys go on, get out of here. I will see you on stream tomorrow. Until then, I hope you guys stay safe, keep well, and I will see you on the flip side.